What is up, YouTube? Today we're finally going to paint this thing. As you can see, this thing is really muddy because me and my friend have been having a lot of fun on this thing in the mud and rain, driving this thing around and just goofing off with this thing. I was actually thinking about putting mud guards on this thing just to keep the mud from slinging everywhere, because you really get muddy when you ride this thing. But I don't have the time or patience to do that. Plus, it looks really cool as it is without mud guards. So, you know, just wear dirty clothes whenever you ride this thing. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I did add this thing to it. It's basically just a giant wing nut looking thing that I took a giant bolt and I welded on these things. And then these hold on the 25-pound weight with this thing. Basically just took a bolt, really big bolt, welded it to this steel, and then welded the steel onto the front of the frame. This allows me to easily, where is it? There it is. Put that on, and then yada yada, put this thing on. So therefore, if I want to take this, if I want to take this thing off-road, I can easily just put the 25-pound weight on there so the front wheels will get traction. When I want to do wheelies with this thing, I can easily take it off. So that's basically what that is. At first I just took a strap and I strapped this thing onto the front end, but that was really jankety, but it worked. So now it's a lot easier to pull on and off. So I'm not going to paint the weight because it doesn't need it. So yeah, one other thing, I was thinking about making a video, a separate video of this stuff, but I decided not to because it's not really that interesting. I recently, actually a week ago, I went to the scrapyard place and bought this stuff. I found this stuff there, and these two things were $50 together, so I spent $50 on these two things. This moped came with this motor. I took it off to work on it. I was actually really hoping to get this thing working, to get this thing running. It has the carburetor. It does produce electricity, has a good compression, but this thing did not come with any of those little black boxes with wires coming in and out. And as you can see, the person who dumped this thing at the scrapyard place just took all the wires and snipped them, and then either kept or threw away separately all the wiring and all the wiring. There's no wiring on this thing, so I highly doubt I am going to get this thing running again unless I buy that stuff, which brand new. It's like $50 or $60 for all the wiring things. Then that I can't buy them separately. I gotta buy the entire package. So it's either I go to a moped place and I buy just what I need, and I have no idea what I need because I have no idea what kind this is or what brand. So I really wanted to get this thing running because it is electric start. It does have kickstart also, and it does have really good compression. But so I'm not really sure if I'm gonna get this thing running. I am gonna keep it just in case I do buy another moped, and the moped motor is crap, but the wiring is good. So I'm not really sure about if I'm going to keep the frame. I'm probably just going to take these two things, this moped and this little 50cc little kids ATV or dirt bike thingy, and I'm probably just going to take everything I can that I could use off of these things and then take the frames, take the frames back to the scrapyard place and resell them or something. Because so yeah, I was thinking about making a separate video, but it's not really that interesting. So yeah, this thing came with hydraulic brakes. I'm gonna definitely use those on my next project, and also came with really cool shocks, which I'm also gonna use for my next project. So yeah, so there's that. Back to this. I wanted to. I really had no idea what to paint this thing. I wanted to do like a really cool color that I've never done before. And I thought of neon green. So I already bought the spray paint. I did, however, think at first what I was going to do was neon green and neon red for all the other parts. All the stuff that, you know, that is not connected to the frame or welded to the frame. you know, basically the sprockets, the handlebars, the tie rods, the everything else. So I was gonna do it neon red, but I'm actually gonna do it black. So it's gonna be neon green and black. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a cool color or not, but we're gonna find out. If not, I'm just gonna take everything back off and paint it this color. So should be simple enough. Just take this thing apart. Okay, so I got this entire thing taken apart. Everything, all the parts are just kind of scattered everywhere. So yeah, next step is just to take my angle grinder, put a wire brush on here, and then just wire brush this entire thing, get all the rust off, kind of scratch the surface so the paint adheres better, and do that to basically everything I'm going to be painting, and then it's ready for painting. Okay, so I've taken all the rust off of this thing. It was kind of a nightmare because I didn't really have a wire brush for my angle grinder, because this is what these things look like when you use them too much. So yeah, they don't work that well like this. So anyway, I used my cheap Harbor Freight sandblaster to finish this thing, and also sandblast everything I'm gonna paint. So this thing I'm painting lime green, and then that and all this stuff I'm painting black. So now the next step is to take the only duct tape that I have and mask off everything I don't want spray painted. So yeah, and then paint it. Should be simple. Okay, so this thing is finally painted, and I'm done painting everything. That's done, and I also painted all of this stuff. All of the rims of the wheels, everything else black, and I did this thing neon green. Now I just noticed when I took this thing off, because I had this thing in my shed hanging up at, you know, at eye level, and I just noticed that the part you're gonna see the most, you can't really see it, but if you're in person you can definitely see some spots that I missed. You can definitely see through the paint, because this paint wasn't like a solid color, it was kind of a see-through color, so therefore I had to use like 4 cans of spray paint just on this frame alone. So I also, it's kind of bumming me out right now, but you can kind of see some spots I missed. You can kind of see the frame through the paint right here, where you're going to be seeing this thing the most. So no big deal. Just, I don't know, I may reshoot this. I already put the put a coat of polyurethane on this thing. I put 2 coats of polyurethane on this thing, and 2 coats of polyurethane on everything else. So it should be scratch, not really scratch resistant, more like scratch reducing, or I don't know. It should resist scratching, I guess. So you know, so you're able to touch it with your fingernails and not have to worry about paint scratching off or falling off. So yeah, it took me about a week to paint all this stuff. Took me forever. Most of the time it's spent drying, but yeah, well worth it. This thing looks awesome. So now I'm gonna put it back together. Okay, this thing is done, and this thing looks awesome. I love the neon green and the black, and this thing just looks really cool. Now, I did record me putting this thing together, but I'm not sure how well that video is going to turn out, because my power turned off like halfway through me putting this thing together. So all the lights turned off, and I had to wait around, and power ended up not coming back on. And then I opened the garage and put the camera this way, and that worked for a little bit, and then the power came back on, and then some point in the process of me putting this thing back together, my GoPro turned off for some reason. I think it lost battery or something like that. I don't know. So I did record a video of me putting this thing back together, but I'm not really sure how well of a video it's gonna be, because I'm not really sure how long it's gonna be and what it shows. But yeah, this thing works. It looks awesome. Now there are a lot of touch-ups I have to do. I did scratch the frame and some key places, putting this thing back together, and but no big deal. And oh shoot, I forgot to bolt the motor down. I gotta move the motor forward and bolt that down, so forgot to do that. So yeah, let's see what this thing looks like with it running.